Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Your Morning Drive. I am Logan Lewis coming at you from the Fireworks studio here in Marietta, Georgia. A big shout out to Fireworks for having us today. They offer a creative co-working space dedicated to uplifting the community and creative professionals alike. If you want to try out a place to work, if you're tired of working at home, if you're tired of your spouse, your kids, your dog, and you want to just get out of the house and try something new, you can try Fireworks by telling them that Logan sent you. They'll give you a free day pass. They'll let you try the space for free. You have nothing to lose. So just get out of the house and try a new space. Meet the other creatives here, meet the other entrepreneurs that have memberships here, meet the lovely staff, and walk to the square and get some lunch. It's a great spot and you would not regret it. But if you don't visit them in person and you book them online, use code DRIVE for that free day pass and they will hook you up. Before we dive in, make sure no matter what platform you're listening on right now, whether it's Spotify or YouTube or Apple or what have you, make sure you hit follow, subscribe, whatever you have to do to make sure that new episodes get delivered to your phone every week without you missing one episode, because you can't be missing episodes. You can't be doing that. Additionally, any social media platform you're on, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever, hit follow on those as well. Everything is just at Your Morning Drive. Easy to find. Everything is the same handle, the same tag. So check us out there. If you like merchandise and you love supporting your favorite creators, you can go to the Hammerhead Creations website and snag you a Your Morning Drive hat that I am wearing right now. Just pop these guys out. They are amazing trucker hats. We also have a t-shirt, and for my golfers out there, we've got a nice little golf towel. So if you're in the sand, in the dirt, in the rough, a lot like I am, the towel will get you and your club where you need to go. So check those out on the website. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Let's get rocking. My guest today is a leader, a mentor, and an innovator in real estate and hospitality. Originally from New England, she built a career blending corporate asset management with a passion for investment properties. She's the CEO of All Things Short-Term Rentals, where she educates investors and property owners, and founder of Stephen Tony Rentals, redefining hospitality through boutique property management. A dedicated leader, mom of twins, beach lover, and foodie. She is here to share her expertise and insight. Please welcome my new friend, Gretchen Kornutik. Hello, Gretchen.
Hello.
Did I get it?
You did. You
Yes.
nailed it.
I was, the whole time I was reading that, I was like sweating. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get it wrong.
That's so funny.
But here we are. We got it right. How are you?
I'm good. Listen, we could have used my whole name, which is Gretchen Antoinette Pointkowski Kornutik.
Oh my God, I would not have gotten that.
Yeah, right. I'm just Gretchen.
Gretchen works. Gretchen works. How are you? Thank you for being here.
Great. I'm great. Yeah, thanks. I love it. I'm excited to be. I'm excited that you and I finally connected.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's so funny when you connect with someone and you're like, wow, they're friends with these people. He's friends with these people. I'm friends with these people, but we've somehow never met.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's so weird how that works.
And then it's funny because once we did connect, we saw each other in like 8 places.
Yep. It's so funny how that
Hello?
works. We saw each other at the gala. We saw each other do for the Little Sober Bar Festival.
Yeah.
We've seen each other just around town at like miscellaneous networking groups and stuff. It's so funny how that works.
It is funny.
It's almost like your brain, once you meet somebody, your brain now recognizes that person.
Yeah, and manifests it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's almost like people you don't know are almost just like, it sounds weird, but almost just like blurry blobs of existence.
Yeah.
They're there, but you don't necessarily know that they're there. But then the second you meet someone and then you see them around town, it's like when you go car shopping and you do let's say, a few years ago, we went and like looked at the new Broncos, not even to buy one, but just because they were like brand new. And I was like, these look kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then everywhere we went for the next 2 weeks, saw Broncos everywhere.
Yep.
It's like, what?
100%.
It's like the Matrix
in
is
your universe.
glitching out right now.
So fun.
So, cheers. Thanks for being here. Let's crack
let's crack it open. Cheers. Score. I'm excited. Good days.
Good Days Canned Cocktails, Gretchen.
Is this an Athens-based one?
This is an Athens and Marietta-based company.
Go Dogs.
Georgia. Yeah.
I was actually going to wear a Dogs hat, but I couldn't find my sparkly one.
Dang.
So I went with the players and golfing down in Florida. Cheers.
That works.
Yeah, it was a Jeep day, so I needed to I needed to have the hair up.
Yeah.
There was no hair being done.
You were jamming on the way in here.
Oh my gosh, listen.
You have to.
Why can't you jam on in life? Like I want to jam everywhere I go.
I do too.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know how you did it because I know you got all like the doors off
Yeah.
and it's like hot as hell outside. How are you doing it?
Okay, so I like it hot. So that's another side of me, right? I grew up in New England,
Yeah.
and my mom loves ice. Like she could be in shorts and bare feet in the middle of the winter. I am hugging the wood stove. I'm like,
Really?
please give me all the heat.
All the heat.
And so I can sit on the beach down in Florida and it's 103 degrees outside and there's no breeze and I'm like, score. Yes.
Yeah.
It's my jam.
Man, you thrive in the heat.
I do. I am solar powered human.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Um, what I mean, give me your backstory, Gretchen. So since we don't really know each other, I mean, let's take advantage of that. Let's
Yeah.
go back. You're from New England originally.
Yeah.
Kind of give me the origin story.
Yeah.
Parents, siblings,
Yeah.
how
So
long were
I've
you
got,
there?
yeah, my parents are still in the same house I was born
Lovely.
in Connecticut. Right. The quick Cliff Notes version, which is kind of crazy, is grew up in Connecticut, went to a private school. I grew up in teeny tiny town. Um, my parents granola crunchy, made my clothes, made my food, all the things. Didn't believe in real estate and capitalism, which is part of my story. It's so funny.
Okay.
And went to college at Quinnipiac, then moved up to UMass Boston. Met Mark in Boston. When I was in Boston, funny story, because of whatever future book I write. I've already named it, by the way. It's
Of
going to be
course.
Hat Stories, because of all the hats I've worn. So I was a nanny. My mom got into a really bad car accident, and so I had to figure out how to pay for school. And so I became a nanny. Moved in with a Jewish Orthodox family. I was raised Roman Catholic in a Latin service. Okay, so you couldn't be further apart,
Right.
right? And the very first night, if you know anything about Judaism, I made a cheeseburger in their kitchen. It was really bad. Anyway, these people were so kind and so gracious, and I learned so much. She was part of the Fabulous Five of Lee Bank, so just from the periphery, I learned about banking and I learned about, what was going on in that high level corporate world and Smith Barney, which doesn't exist anymore, and all of those things. Anyway, got accepted to Emory Medical School down here in Atlanta and had met Mark and I was like, peace out. I'm going. I'm gonna go get a job down there and I'm gonna figure out how to pay for school. And Mark goes, well, I'm going with you. And so Mark and I moved to Atlanta
Wow.
and I ended up working for Ted Turner's family. And we lived in their carriage house and had a freaking ball. I ended up not going to school for baby reasons. Mark and I had multiple baby issues, miscarriages and everything. Everybody has a story. I think
I'm
we should
sorry.
talk about it a lot more. No, I mean it's part of life, right? But we don't talk about it
Yeah.
because
'Cause
the
it makes people
generation
uncomfortable.
behind us didn't talk about things, right?
Yeah.
They didn't talk about money. They didn't talk about, tragedy. They didn't talk about that stuff. And I think that's bullshit. I think we got to dive in and we got to be real and we got to support each other. So anyway, so that was part of it. I didn't end up going to Emory. But I traveled. We had 6 years with them, traveled the world, met Oprah, met Gorbachev, sat on a bus with Jimmy Carter, went to all
Wow.
of these different places, traveled on private. I mean, amazing experiences. And because they wanted to keep me happy, they dragged Mark along. And so Mark was like made
Mark's
in the
just
shade.
along for the ride.
He was like, score.
Mark
He was
chose the right chick to move to Atlanta.
he was working for Home Depot and he'd be like, hey guys, I need to get on a plane in 10 minutes. Can I be off for the next 3 days? And he had a great boss who we're still actually friends with.
Wow.
And yeah, so we would go and do things. And yeah, right. That was it. And then in Atlanta, right, I'm still from that granola crunchy, capitalist doesn't, yeah, evil. Don't make money. That's bad. You have to give to everybody. And so Mark took me for a tour of a property over on Bolton Road in Atlanta. And he said, hey, I think, I want you to come look at this house. We're gonna do this fix and flip thing. This is in the 90s. I'm old, Logan. And this is in the 90s. And I'm like, do we need to? And anyway, that house wasn't available. But while we were touring around the neighborhood, which is now a beautiful neighborhood, but it was literally a crack house. Like we pull into this driveway and I'm like, this is awful. This is the ugliest house I've ever seen in my life. A week later, Mark came home and he goes, hey, remember that ugly house? I bought it and I used your credit. Great.
Nice.
Anyway, that was our first fix and flip, right? So that was the beginning of our real estate journey. But I loved it. He ended up building a house in Brookhaven. And then when the twins were born here in Atlanta, I just knew that I wanted to slow down, right? I literally had 5 hours off a day to sleep. That was it. I was going balls to the wall. I still did that, but not quite to that level.
Yeah.
And I love life. I love saying yes to everybody. I love saying, "Yep, let's do it. Let's go experience it."
Yeah.
And so I needed a break. I wanted to raise these kids. So I have these two amazing twins who are now 22. But we moved to Jacksonville, Florida at that point. And I wanted to be kind of quieter. I wanted to be near the ocean. Definitely didn't want to go to New England because it's cold. And just fell in love with that. And I did what quintessential realtors do, right? I got my real estate license and I showed properties and I got in my car and I thought I was a big dog and I thought I knew everything and made a shit ton of money. I mean, it was 2005, which is the equivalent of 2020, 2021 in real
Hmm.
estate, right? I mean, just a shit ton of money. And we invested in a bunch of stuff that we ended up losing everything in a day in 2009.
Yeah.
And right, everybody did that. But I knew at that point I needed to get with people who were smarter than me. So I had carried kind of all these hats, right? And I had learned all these lessons along the way. With the Turner family, right? They're amazing at saving land, at putting easements on land and saving it for future generations and all of that stuff and the environmental side, which I didn't have a lot of knowledge about. I mean, I should have from my mom, but that wasn't her experience. And so it was really cool. And so we did that, partnered up with a couple of guys who were super, super smart and enjoyed it, enjoyed what was going on in my world. We built Suncoast, which was a property management company, which ended up having over 10,000 doors and loved the asset management, loved working with hedge funds on Wall Street. So I was the acquisitions girl. And so I was buying the houses. There were houses, days, 400 houses a day we were buying.
A day
A day.
that you were buying?
Yeah. In Atlanta and in South Georgia
Holy
and in
hell.
Florida and on online auctions. And we had all these moving pieces, obviously teams, right? It's not just me, but we'd send them down these funnels and we'd either renovate them for this type of investment fund or this one, whatever. And we'd bundle these, stabilize them and sell them to the funds, but we'd keep management. And that's how we kept everyone fed and in paychecks through the crash. It was a great model, right? It wasn't my model. It was these guys were just super savvy. They understood it.
Wow.
And then understanding how the market shifted, right? So at that point, I had now learned everything that a regular realtor does not know anything about, the wholesale market and the investment side and the venture capitalists and private equity and all of this other lingo that nobody talks about. And then construction costs were cheaper than buying houses as the market dried up for foreclosures. And so we started build to rent communities, which got into development and land and everything else. And I had this crazy wholesaler call me one day and say, Gretchen, you got to come see this house down on the ocean. And for people who have followed me or seen me, they've heard this story, but it was the beginning, right? It was this beautiful oceanfront house. And I went to go see it. I had 15 minutes. Yes or no, you're buying it. Otherwise, the next person's coming in. And we bought it. And so the hat lessons there, I didn't know about turtles. I didn't know that if a coastal control zone line is going through a house, you now have to get your permits from the federal government and not the town. I mean, it was a huge learning curve. Learned so much and understood so much more about private equity and how to make the pro formas work. The insurance was $50,000 every 6 months.
Holy shit.
So we had to renovate this shit and get it off the books as fast as possible. So we renovated it. It wasn't super fast. And a week before closing, a hurricane hit it.
Oh my God.
So I was
Destroy it?
not totally destroyed, but I sat on the deck and just cried. I am a solution girl. Anybody who knows me, I don't know what your problem is in life, but let's talk about real solutions. Let's not just talk about them. Let's find the pathway through the trees and solve something. And so I got another elevation certificate because of the storm, and our insurance dropped to $5,000 a year.
Ooh.
And so it made it a perfect rental property. And that was my first short-term rental. This was before Airbnb was Airbnb, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was the wild, wild west of short-term rentals.
Yeah.
And that was the beginning, and it ended up being a passion. So everything continued to grow. Suncoast Beach Vacations, which I founded and everything, grew. It was an amazing company. But we sold the whole thing. I broke up with them ethics wise, we weren't on the same page anymore.
Sure.
They were about bottom line and I've always been about people.
Sure.
So, and right, is it right or wrong? Whatever. But we just weren't in alignment anymore.
Right.
Sold the company in 2021. That's when Mark and I took that road trip, which I told you about, the 40-day road trip and sorority and
Just 'cause kind of
weddings.
a nice little break between.
It was right, because I probably should have left that old company 2 years before I did. We just weren't in alignment, and I didn't realize the amount of stress that my body was carrying. And I think a 20 or a 30, 35, 40-year-old in this like world, you think you have to stay in that. You think you don't have another option. And so I did that, right? And I should have left years before that. But the 40 days was really mental healing. It was, let's calm our brains. I didn't realize how hard it was going to be to slow my brain down and to get the stress out of my body and detox. So, right. And so I really kind of looked during that 40 days and said, what do I want to do? I love being with people, right? Anybody who knows me knows I love being with people. I really, really, really enjoy it. And I love teaching people. I want them to not make the same mistakes that I made. I made some huge mistakes. Why not? Let's give them the note. Why are we or gatekeeping information? Let's give them, and if their vision aligns, let's make that shit happen. If it doesn't, that's okay too. But at least they have the information and how they can proceed for their family, their growth, whatever that is. So I knew I wanted to do the teaching aspect. I got certified through the state of Georgia as the short-term rental expert with the Georgia Real Estate Commission. So I teach CE classes, and that is a direct feed into Steve and Tony, which is my short-term rental company. And so it's a boutique full service, only short-term, mid-term, part-time rentals. I don't do long-term, which makes me a great referral partner for those people, right? So we're all kind of working in alignment. Nobody's in competition, and the collaboration is fantastic. Yeah, I love it. So then, I did that. And the teaching people, I had a couple of people, Jen and I, Jen Gregg.
Of course.
We met last year. We've only known each other for a year.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow, you could have fooled me.
Yeah.
Because you guys act like you're lifelong friends.
Yeah. We just, so the funny thing is when we first met, we were like, she's nice.
Yeah.
I could take her or leave her,
Wishy-washy.
whatever. Yeah. She's great, whatever. Nice to know her. And about 6 months after that, Jen came to me with a really vulnerable statement, and we spent a week together, and we have been connected ever since. We're just so in alignment in the way that we think. And so that's how the Build and Brand Mastermind happened, was people saying, how are you guys doing this? How are you making these things happen? What do you know? And everything else. And the way that she sees things is so different than the way I see things, but we're in complete alignment.
Right.
And so it just works. It just works when people come to us. Sometimes the questions for me and sometimes the questions for her, but it just, it's great pathways, good conversation.
Yeah.
So that's where we are, right? The twins are in college, and
Where do they go?
So Sid is at UGA, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
And Cutler's down at FGCU. And she's actually in New York City, bougie ass princess, on an internship this summer.
Ooh, good.
And he is down doing stuff in a marina. He is an ocean boy and loves to dive all the time.
Ooh,
yeah.
I want to talk to him.
Yeah, he is a happy camper living his best life.
Well, Gretchen, you know how I live my best life sometimes?
Tell me.
It's whenever I crack open a Good Days canned cocktail.
Yeah.
Gretchen, let me tell you and the people about Good Days canned cocktails. They are a longtime sponsor of Your Morning Drive. They're a local company. I just went out with me and my wife, and him and his wife went out last night, tore up the town in downtown Cartersville, and we had ourselves a time. Long story short, there's a bar up in Cartersville that serves canned beverages, and I was like, man,
What's the bar?
Southern Cove.
Okay.
And I interviewed the owner of Southern Cove last weekend.
Okay.
We got done because I asked him the same thing. You want a cocktail while we record? And he was like, yeah. And he had that one as well. And he said, man, these are good. He's like, you said they're local? And I was like, yeah, they're local. He was like, give me his phone number. And then 4 days later, he sends me a text and he says, we got it. And so me and Jason is the Good Days guy. And he was like, you want to go out downtown Carsville and tear it up? And I was like, yes. And so we went out, had ourselves a hell of a time, but we had good days. We went to Southern Cove and we got ourselves some Good Days. Guys, Good Days are a classic cocktail brand created in a convenient, ready to drink format to meet the need for a quality premixed cocktail on any occasion. Be the first to try out their cocktails. They're a local company now, but just wait, they're going to be all over the damn country here very shortly. Go to their website, drinkgooddays.com/pages/find us to find a store near you selling their drink. Of course, you must be 21 years of age to purchase and enjoy,
I think it's fabulous that it's called Sea Breeze.
right?
It is good.
They've got 4 great flavors right now. You and I have my 2 favorites. Better Nights, that's the vodka lime juice, agave nectar, and other natural flavors. You've got the vodka cranberry flavor. There's also a whiskey sour that's like 9%. These are pretty strong. These are 6%,
You know what? You know
6.5%.
what I love about it is it's not like stupid sweet. You know, like sometimes you get something that's stupid sweet and it's just too much. I'm not a sweet girl
That's the selling
when I
point.
drink. Yeah, I
That
mean,
is the
it's
selling point.
good.
And
This
they're
is very
great.
good.
They're really good flavors. And
Go
again,
Good
they're a
Days.
local company and they're super fantastic. Anytime your morning drive or I put on some kind of event, which has only been a couple so far, Good Days is always involved. He's like, yeah, man, let's throw it up. Let's do the damn
Yeah.
thing. They're always game for everything. They're great partners
Hey,
of the
let's
show.
cheers again.
So check them out. Drink Good Days. Cheers.
Fantastic.
Wow, Gretchen. So
Right? That was a lot of
a
information.
lot of information. So I'm going to dissect it a little bit.
Yeah, go for
Okay,
it.
so going all the way back, Mark, right?
Yeah, so interesting thing about Mark's, just side note,
Yeah.
my kid's godfather is named Mark. They call him Godfather. My twin brother is Mark. We only twin in my family.
Oh, shit.
Our
You've got a few
mailman is
marks.
Mark.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so that's kind of
You've
fun.
got a few marks in your life.
Yeah. When I met my Mark, I was like, I gotta nip this in the bud because I can't be sleeping with Mark. And I called him corny for a while.
Corny. Wow.
Yeah, I was just like, hey,
That's
bud.
funny. So going back to it, he came to you and said, hey, I bought this property. And
Yeah.
you were like, okay. So
Yeah, I went into real estate kicking and screaming. I did not want to do it.
I was going to say, so
Mm-mm.
he was the
was the catalyst.
reason that
Yeah.
you got pushed into that space.
Yeah.
And of course, lo and behold, you found to love it because it's what you do today. But
Yeah.
it's just funny that you would think, or I would think, as an outsider looking in at everything that you do. We were talking beforehand. I see all your stuff online, and I think you kill it with your branding and everything. But you seem so freaking passionate about what you do, and I'm thinking this girl had to have known she wanted to do real estate since she was 12 years old.
Yeah, no, not at all. So I wanted to be a doctor.
I
I wanted to be a gastrointestinal surgeon for
Wow.
preemies, and just went sideways. It was really because of the baby journey in my life that was so ugly that kind of
Sure.
took that sideways. I love to cook, and I've always loved to host. So I have in the years past, I've had a super secret garden supper club. If people follow
Cool.
me on Facebook, they can go back and see them. We did like a French night and we did a Spanish night and
Well,
we did
that's
the whole
fun.
theme, and we only have 12 people and everything like that. Like I love to host people. So when I was in the space of like underwriting huge spreadsheets and doing that, even though I was good at it, it wasn't really my passion. I'm good at multitasking and seeing a pathway. I'm really good at building processes and building teams and understanding where somebody needs to sit and if they're sitting in the wrong spot. So I love doing that with my build and brand is like, hey, you've got a great team, but you've got them in the wrong seats. Like everybody needs to move and do something different. But
That's a
it
great skill
wasn't
to have.
it wasn't my passion, right? I mean, I'm good at it, but it wasn't my passion. But when I shifted in the short-term rental space, that's not real estate anymore, by the way. That's hospitality,
Mm.
which fed into what my passion is, right? Which is taking care of people. And I always have people in my house. It's so funny. I went to Jacksonville this last week, and none of my actual houses were available. So I ended up sleeping on a girlfriend's guest room because I'm like, shoot, right? Because I'm like, always, yes, come on, let's fill people. So yeah, it's kind of fun.
It's one thing I really like about you, Gretchen, is again, someone from the outside looking in who up until today has not known much about you. You make something that is inherently stereotypically boring to talk about. Real estate, investing, it's
Yeah.
boring for most people. And I'm not going to shit on it and say that it's a boring subject because it's not.
No,
But
by
a
the
lot
way,
of
it totally
people
is.
see like
Yeah.
finance, investment,
Yeah.
properties. People are always like, that's a not fun topic. But you bring so much light to it, I think.
Yeah.
Like the content that you put out, it really shows that this can be fun.
Can be fun.
And it is fun.
Mhm.
And
And
I
there's a
just have
lot of
always
shitty
thought,
pieces to it, by the way.
sure.
There's a ton of shitty pieces, but we should talk about it.
By the way, I'm glad you brought that up just now, because when you were talking about your original story, and you were saying that there's a lot of things that people don't talk about, that people kind of moan and groan at if you bring it up. I love that you said that, because I've always felt the same way. It's like, these things are going to be taboo forever if no one talks about them. Like my first job out of college, I asked maybe a little ballsy for the intern to ask his first boss out of college, but I was just like, how much do you think our CEO makes?
I love that
And he
question.
was like, "Oh man, we don't talk about money here." And I was like,
Yeah,
"Why not?"
why? Why not? I don't need to know what you make, but on a whole, what should it be?
Sure.
Like, how do you build your own company or your own vision if you don't know what those numbers are?
Right. And I didn't take, I like to think he didn't think I was asking out of like, well, I want to know how much money our CEO makes. No, I was like, I'm curious.
Yeah.
And it wasn't coming from a place of, oh, I only earn, I'm throwing a number out there, $40,000 a year. My CEO makes $2 million a year. I
Right.
don't care about that.
Yeah.
I just want to
Yeah.
know. Not for any reason, but because, and you said this too, and I relate to it also, I'm just a numbers freak. I
Yeah.
walk into a cool venue and I'm like,
Yeah.
I wonder how much this cost.
Yeah.
Or,
How do they make these numbers work?
yeah, how does it
I
happen?
always do that. How many people have to walk through that door for them to be successful at that and still bring home a paycheck? Like, how are they making this work?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. What are the cogs?
And it's like my parents went to, my long story short, again, my grandparents for the last 10, 15 years or so, they lived in Las Vegas. They lived in the Midwest for their whole lives. They retired. They moved to Las Vegas. Now they've been recently, right. They've most recently been moved back to the Midwest though, because they are, at the age where they need a little extra care.
Okay.
So
there's family there?
Yeah, oh yeah. My mom and all of her siblings went to Las Vegas to move my grandparents. And while they were there, my dad got unexpected tickets to go see Kenny Chesney at the Sphere.
Oh, shit.
And I talked to him on the phone, and he was like, dude, you have never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
He's like, the amount of money that this probably takes, first of all, that it took to build, but then also the fact that, I mean, the productions and everything is just through the roof. And I was like, oh my God. So I immediately got off the phone with him and started Googling how much shit costs to run a show in the Sphere. And it's crazy. And it's like, after I look it up, I'm going to say, oh, cool. And then I'm probably never going to think about that information again until someone brings up, man, the Sphere looks expensive. Actually, you're right. It is expensive. I did the research.
And I have the information.
And then I have the information.
Yeah.
But I've always been a numbers guy. Like, I want to know the percentage of people that do this, or I want to know the amount of money it costs to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you say that we don't talk about the uncomfortable stuff a lot. And I don't think money has to be uncomfortable.
No, in fact, I think we need to talk about it a lot more, right? This country is basically bankrupt because nobody talks about money. We don't talk about fiscal responsibility or even just basic financial IQ.
Yeah.
And
right.
it's so funny. I went to a wealth conference with Jen earlier this year, and there's a guy, Andrew Cordell and Eddie Wilson. Eddie Wilson's like a billionaire 10 times over. He's got family money, inherited it, all that stuff. But Andrew has a story very much like Mark and I, right? Where we built wealth and then we just fucking lost everything and had to file bankruptcy, right?
Yeah.
He had something like 14 foreclosures. Knock on wood, I've never had to do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was very close. And so because of those experiences, he sits and he says, this is what I did. And this is where I went wrong. This is when I should have taken a left turn when I took a right turn. And if we don't talk about that, right? So it's so funny because now when I do one-to-ones, people who don't know Gretchen are like, damn, is this an inquisition? I'm like, no, I really just want to know this information. And I ask questions like, what's your structure? Who's your CPA? Does your CPA understand, debt consolidation? And do they understand, depreciation and cost segregation? And you don't know what that means? Let's dive in. Let's talk about it. So you know what that is. Like, let's figure that out.
Yeah.
I love telling people that because it doesn't mean that I'm smarter than them. They have information. Everybody I meet has information that I don't have.
Sure.
Like, so now I've given you information. Now you give me some.
Right. Reciprocal.
Yeah. Like, let's make this a better place.
I love that you say that. And I think it's been a problem that we don't talk about money like we should, because I worked at a local financial institution that's out of Georgia. It's a credit union that's quite prevalent in
Okay.
the Cherokee and Cobb areas. I
Okay.
worked it there for a couple years, and never did I ever think, because I was lucky to grow up in a house where my parents taught me about money.
Yeah.
My dad told me, you make this percent, save this percent.
Yeah.
And they really were good about teaching me and my siblings about how to save properly, how to invest properly. We're very lucky. I've learned that I'm an outlier in that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't grow up with parents that are either good with money or even just teach them about money. You could have people that are experts at saving and budgeting, but they never teach their kids for some reason.
Well,
But
they don't understand that money's constantly moving.
well,
If you
that
just
too.
put it in a 401k,
Right.
you're never going to get there.
Right, exactly. So when I worked at this institution, within my first 2 weeks, I remember calling my parents and being like, I had no idea so many Americans is generous, because I just, of course, live in Georgia, but
Right.
so many people live paycheck to paycheck. So many.
I mean,
people.
and even less than paycheck to
Yes.
paycheck, right? They're
You'd be surprised,
borrowing
Gretchen.
on each paycheck on a credit card to
Correct.
do paycheck to paycheck.
You'd be surprised, Gretchen, or maybe you wouldn't be because you've been in the space and you know a thing or two about financials and investments and stuff. But more than, I'd say, half of the people I ever helped at this institution, more than half of them have less than $2,000 in a savings account. And maybe not all their money is there, right? Like
I would
maybe
believe
they
that.
just diversify,
But they don't.
but they don't have money in their savings account.
They
And I always thought, like, you know, when an adult, you know, I still for some reason consider myself a child, like a teenager or a
too.
young adult. But like when a grown up
Totally
came
a
in
20,
and I would pull their account up and see that they only have $2,000, I'd be like, I have more money than this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know if, you know, again, maybe this institution isn't his primary place. Maybe it's just a place he stores extra money. But
that's not the case, by the way. I mean, right? Most people are banking in one institution. They're
sure,
not going from place to place.
because I went home and I looked up those stats too. I was like, okay, how many people have more than one bank account?
Yeah.
Not as many as you would think,
Yeah.
or not as many as people that lead you on to believe
Yeah.
that have extra bank
I
accounts.
mean, the people who have 200,000+ in
Yeah.
an account have multiple accounts.
Oh, for sure.
You've got FDIC insurance regulations and things like that. So, yeah, I mean, I just don't think so. And I know when Mark and I are at the bottom of the bottom, you know, 2009, things like that. I mean, we were lucky if we had $10 in our account
Right.
at certain points. We were like, shit,
How did you make it
what
through
are
that?
we going to
I
do?
mean, excuse me, what a crazy time to have
Was a
gone
crazy
through.
time.
And I was
Yeah.
in middle school during this, by the way. So
Yeah.
that shows you my
Yeah.
age level.
That's okay.
And that's insane. That stuff was going on in our country. And me as a middle schooler, I had no fucking clue. No
Yeah.
idea. Until
Yeah.
like 5 years later, my dad was like, yeah, 2008 through 2007 through 2012
12
was dog shit.
brutal.
It was horrible.
Yeah, it was brutal.
And I was like, I was just a kid. I had no
Yeah.
idea.
So real estate like took a dump, and Mark, who also has his real estate license, obviously he does land and dirt. He has iFindDirt.com. And
iFindDirt.com.
that's Mark.
That's badass.
And the funny thing about him with iFindDirt.com is he's really good at actually finding dirt too.
Really?
Like he's yeah. I call him, I'm like, hey, I can't get a hold of this person. I'm not really sure who they are, but hey, by the way, I need to get a hold of this. 10 minutes later, he comes back to me and he says, hey, Gretch, here's his grandmother's number. She lives on this street, and here's the cell phone number of the cousin. And I'm like, how did you even figure this out? Like, I don't understand what you do.
iFindDirt.com.
So,
I love it. I looked it up. It's real, folks. Land acquisitions.
yeah. So, so Mark's land dirt, and yeah, just kind of fun. I forgot where I was going, but yeah.
That's podcasting, by the
Amazing.
way. Forgetting where you're going.
Yeah,
You'll just start a point, and maybe I derailed it by looking up iFindDirt.com. I love how email addresses info@ibuydirt.com.
Yeah.
It's so clever.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that one actually happened by accident. So when we left our old company, and we did that road trip or whatever, Mark and I have spoken at these giant conferences, the IMN conferences across the country, in front of big rooms and everything like that. I love speaking to large groups. I'm very comfortable doing that.
How did you get comfortable doing that? Sorry to interrupt, but
it's funny
because I need to get better at that.
I don't know, but I took the steps. So I believe in just taking the one action step, because if you just sit back and you analyze, I'm going to do a deal or I'm going to do something I'm afraid of, and you sit back and you think about it, you'll never do it. You get paralyzed. And so I physically make myself take the step. So the first time I talked in front of a room, it was a disaster. I went into a real estate office that was huge, And I literally spoke so fast that and we have these houses and I just think you'll be great. And anyway, have a great day. And I walked out. I didn't say the name of the company. I didn't say the
Oof.
offerings. I didn't say anything. And I just walked out. Like it was, I mean, it was a disaster.
Oh man.
This was years and years ago. And then the first time that I was on TV, when they said action, and I literally didn't feel nervous,
Right.
but the camera started rolling,
Right.
action, and involuntarily my lip started.
Just twitching.
And so they said, cut. And they're like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I literally don't know, but I can't make it stop. Like, it just,
I'm like,
it,
maybe I'm dehydrated. I don't know.
I,
But
I
like,
don't know what's going on, but it's like, it was ridiculous.
so how did
Um,
you get through it?
anyway, the next time I did it, it was great. Yeah, I just did it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only way you can do it. And I think it's being confident in what you know, right? And being true to who you are. So if I get up in front of a room and I'm going to start talking about stocks and bonds, like I don't fucking know. Like that's not my wheelhouse.
Sure.
I don't know what that is.
Sure.
I depend on people who understand that and understanding what you know and what you don't know and saying,
I don't
I
know.
don't know. Yeah, like not my wheelhouse. Let's defer to somebody else.
I credit my first boss out of college. I bring him up a lot because at the time he was trying to teach me all things like take ownership for what you don't know. Because people will respect the hell out of you if you're willing to go as far as say, I don't know the answer, but I'll
Yeah.
find you the answer.
Yeah, 100%.
And I often credit it because at the time, of course, I was right out of college. I was like, sure, whatever, dude. But now I'm like, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I will be the first to tell people I don't know, but I know who does know.
Yeah.
Let me connect you with them.
It's so funny. So I've always had a mentor and am a mentor. That's just something I've always done. And so when I talk to these people, especially in my build and brand and everything, and they're like, Gretchen, I don't want to pay for a big business coach. I'm like, I need you guys to understand, right? The build and brand is business coaching, but a mentor is someone totally different.
Sure.
100%, right? I have mentors. I have a couple of them. You don't normally pay for a mentor.
Right.
A mentor is a person who is alongside you, who wants to feed into you. And I just spoke to this one young gal. She's so amazing. She's up in Cartersville. And she's just like, I'm at the top of my company. Like, I don't really have another place to go. And it's not that high up, right? I mean, she's got a corporate structure that's in another state.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't want to move to another state.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to get to the next level. She's hungry. She's coachable. And I said, listen, you need to call. And you don't call people and say, hey, will you mentor me? Right? You have succeeded at X and you have solved X. And I'm having a hard time getting to X. Can you help me with this? Like, give them a really strategic, I've thought about this. I understand what it is. I'm not just wasting your 15 minutes. I actually am looking for a solution. Those people will come out of the woodwork and be like, hey, come on, let me come alongside you. Let's do love taps and make sure that you're moving along the right track. So fun.
One of my mentors did the podcast with me last year, and he told me about this concept that his mentor had taught him when he was really young. And he said that it's important, as whether you're an entrepreneur or not, whether you're just a working professional,
Right.
it's important to have a personal, this is his term that he used. I don't know if it's trademarked or not, but it's your personal board of directors. And your personal board of directors, for those who don't know, is someone or a group of people who care deeply about your success. And like Gretchen said, there's usually no cost
No.
associated with a mentor. It's usually just someone who, whether it's through your goals align with their goals, or maybe your personalities just stick together. It's just you guys feeding off of each other. Because, hey, you might teach your own mentor something at some point.
100%.
And it's just a relationship that, like, I have a good relationship with the founder of Good Days. I consider him on my board of directors because when I have an idea or a thought, I'll shoot a text to him and say, hey, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
He'll give me the honest, raw thoughts. He'll
Feedback.
be like, Logan, that's a shitty idea. Don't even think any second into it more.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
thanks for the input.
100%. Or stay focused on what your goals are.
Correct.
Write it down and stay where you're going.
Whether it's 5 people or 15 people, there's not a number for this board of directors, but it's however many people just care about seeing you succeed.
I've never heard it called the board of directors, but yes, I agree with that.
I use it
And
every
you
time I
have to
can.
make sure that your board of directors is in alignment with where you're going. So one of the things that I always see, right, in my groups is, well, hey, I spoke to this investor and he only does it this way and he says that this option is not good. Okay, well, hold on a second. How successful is he? How many deals has he closed? How many things has he done? Does he have his own money or is he having to borrow money? Like, is he actually successful? There's so many poor people out there who are teaching people and they don't know the roadmap. And they're just saying you have to do it this way because I'm doing it this way. That's not alignment,
That's not
right?
coaching.
Well, it's not. And God, don't even get me on the coaches.
Let me tell you this, Gretchen.
Oh,
You saying what you just said makes me want to say this, and I'm sorry if this offends somebody out there. And if it offends you, then maybe you've got some internal
mhm.
thinking to do. But not everyone is a coach.
No.
Anyone, unfortunately, with a phone and an Instagram account can label themselves as a coach now,
Yes.
which
With no
is
experience,
correct, with no certifications,
no success.
nothing. They
No.
can just one day wake up and say, you know what, I'm going to teach people how to do this, and that makes me a coach.
Yeah.
So you stumble upon some people on Instagram and you see coach in their bio, and you
Yeah.
immediately think, or I think, okay, what are you coaching? What
Yeah.
are you teaching people? And half the time they're not. They're just labeling themselves a coach
A
because
coach.
that title means something in this age of social media and influencers. And but like,
I just recently heard one and it's a local thing that I was so flabbergasted by.
really,
Um
like someone local saying that they're a coach.
yeah, a couple of people. So
Oh,
this one person was a designer and partnered with somebody who said that they were an SEO website developer. And I thought they were doing great. I thought that they had success in their own wheelhouse, et cetera. And and so just in conversations with people and talking about, right, because I get down to the nitty-gritty. I'm not saying at a high level, like you have to have the right mindset and that's going to change everything. No, 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 no. Do you have the systems and processes in place? Show me them. What are your goals? How are you getting these things done? And anyway, this one particular entrepreneur who's local and in the space was struggling because he had aligned himself with a location that was a disaster. The ownership of the location I think has criminal charges against them. I think, they were stealing money. I mean,
mm,
it's just ugly. So they brought in these two coaches, and when I heard that it was the designer and the SEO website developer, who by the way are not successful, have not owned a successful business, and are not bringing in money, I thought, oh, that's so interesting. And then the coach was punishing this entrepreneur for not following their lead. And I thought, okay, listen, a coach or a mentor is not punishing anybody. They're giving them the skills and the guidance, and they're giving them, lots of empathy and grace in their own pathway and their own vision, right? I mean, there are some amazing coaches out there. So
there sure are. And I don't label myself as a coach, Gretchen, but I do want to coach you and everyone else listening on one thing real quick. Okay.
yeah,
Can I tell you about this?
yeah.
Guys, if your brand deserves better than boring swag.
Mm.
As an entrepreneur, you know that it's important to have stuff branded to your brand because that's marketing, baby. We love marketing and branding is important. So if you want to level up your branding game and your swag game, level up with custom hats, shirts, and gifts that your customers will brag about. Go to brandedanddevoted.designs.com. New sponsor alert. Just this weekend, locked in alert. New sponsor alert. Branded and Devoted Designs. They're a local family that is dedicated to creating custom merch for companies in Georgia and beyond.
What do
They're
they
the ones
specialize in?
they specialize in hats. This is one of their hats. They do Yeti tumblers. They
So laser printing.
yes, they do
Okay.
it all. They do screen printing, they do
Nice.
shirts, collared shirts, everything. I asked him at one point, I was like, could you do like a golf tee? And he was like, buddy, I could put your logo on anything. And they're a local company. They're based out of Cartersville. They're just up the street from me, and they're good people. And here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. If you mention that when you talk to Dave or his wife about their services, if you tell them that you came from your morning drive or from Logan, they'll give you 10% off your order. So load that card up. Make sure you snag all the Yeti tumblers because you'll get 10% off of everything. Yetis, notebooks. Dave has embroidered and customized countless stuff. All the Your Morning Drive merch, the hats, the golf towels, everything is all Dave. This coffee mug is Dave as well. Look at that.
Amazing.
Laser etched. So go to Dave, hit him up on social media, hit him up on his website, let him know that Your Morning Drive is how you heard about him, and he'll hook you up with 10% off. Level up your brand, make it stick. Find your passion, do it every day, and crush it. That's Dave's motto.
Let's crush it.
Dave's a great guy. Yeah, the coaching thing is it's an epidemic. We need to get down to it. We need to start.
Oh yeah.
We need to start.
You go on
punishing
these
people.
networking groups and there's like 10 or 15 coaches. And it's so funny because I do one-to-ones and pretty strategic on my one-to-ones. And I ask the questions. And, there's some out there who are like, okay, you're going to give me $5,000 for the next 3 months. There's no guarantee. And all I'm going to do is give you a written packet of steps to take.
Yeah, right.
And you're like, okay, so you downloaded that from what? From chat or somewhere. And now you're selling it for $5,000 and I don't really have any support.
Right.
So
I can go and ask my chat for the same advice.
Yeah.
But I've had a couple of really awesome coaches on here.
Love that.
And I know do you know Miles Rubin?
Oh my gosh. By the way, Miles is legit.
He is so good.
Real thing.
So good. He sat in that chair a few weeks ago and he hypnotized me in this chair.
He's amazing.
And now every time I do the thing he told me to do, and I get into the mindset that he told me I'd get into.
Nice.
Andy Robinson, he's great as well.
Yeah.
A couple others. I mean, there's a couple really good people out there that are doing good things.
Yeah.
So make sure that if you're considering a coach, do your research a little bit. Look up some reviews, look up their reputation.
Talk to random people.
Just make sure. Make sure. Because it also, I was thinking as we're sitting here talking, it could be an easy way to scam people online. Imagine getting a DM from someone that's like, hey, I can help you double what you made, their typical thing, double what you made last year in 30 days or some shit like that.
Well, and
it's the
open statement, right? It's the open statement that I can help you without understanding where you're going.
Right.
I mean, Jen and I don't take everybody into our build and brand because if your alignment and where you are, it doesn't align with us, then we're just not the right fit. It doesn't mean we don't want you. It means that there's somebody else out there who's better for you.
Sure.
Or for what you need.
And it's not meant to be no hard feelings or anything. It's just like, listen, there's someone out there that is the coach for you. Yeah. We are not.
Oh my gosh, 100%. Yeah.
So how has it been going with the thing with Jen? You guys
so great.
You working with people?
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
Love it. Yeah. That's awesome. And when I saw you guys announce the thing, I was like, oh, this makes sense because they're in each other's videos all the time and they're always at the same networking groups at the same time. I don't know how Jen does it either, by the way.
Yeah, just the fact that
you do it too. You're all over the damn place.
Yeah.
All the time.
So the funny thing is that most people assume that she and I are together all the time.
All the time.
And that we do the same thing. And we don't, right? She's not even close.
No.
I mean, I think the closest thing that we do is have fun.
Yeah.
We love being together.
Yeah.
And we love speaking to people, right? So the two of us could get on a stage of 10,000 people and just crush it. Right? Yeah. I mean, that's probably the only real alignment in what we do. That's the same. Other than that, totally different, right? She comes from kind of a church religious background and you know her story.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of do, but not really.
I was also raised Roman Catholic, by the way.
Oh, nice. So you understand the aerobics on Sunday. We do. Down and I'm up and I'm down.
Sitting and
I'm doing all this. And did I stand up fat? Oh,
do you still go to Catholic church?
Oh,
you don't mind me asking?
Shit, no.
Me either. Once a year, my parents guilt me into going like Easter Mass or Christmas Mass, but I'm like, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I tell people my sister is a Catholic.
Sure.
And I love that for her because it works for her. And again, right, religion's the same way. Like it either works or it doesn't work for you. Let's not pass judgment on people.
No, not at all.
Good
for her. Glad it works for her.
I'm glad it works for her.
Work for me.
It doesn't work for me. Growing up, I had a Monsignor who was just this bald old guy, and he would take the pulpit, shake it on Sunday morning, and I was like, my God. And I mean, all I got from him, right, and from church at that point was it doesn't matter what you're doing, you're going to hell, and give us your money before you get there. I mean, like that's what I got from church. We didn't have really fellowship.
No,
we didn't have any of that when I was growing up, and so
that's not the Catholic Church way.
Yeah, I mean,
even though they say it is.
well, yeah,
It's
I'm
not.
definitely not
Yeah.
in my experience, right? Other
Neither
people
am
have
I.
it,
Yeah, sure.
but I didn't.
Like your
And
sister
then
probably experienced
I
it
think
the
she
way that.
does. She loves it.
Yeah.
And I have some other Catholic friends who
Yep.
absolutely love it, but it wasn't for me. And so then my mom kind of guilted me into I wanted to have a beach wedding because I am if I'm gonna find God, it's in the sand.
Sure.
My feet, toes are in the sand and the
Yeah.
water, and God is there and it's all the things. So I wanted to have my wedding on the beach. My mom lost her mind and said, no, 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 you have to have it in church. And so I went back to my church where I spent my entire childhood. And they said, well, you're not a member here because you haven't tithed for the past 5 years. I didn't live there anymore. And by the way, it's going to be a $5,000 check for us to even get you on the calendar. I was
No.
like, okay, that's a hard pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So religion, right? Everyone has their own experience, but yeah.
I was the first grandchild on my mom's side to not get married in a church, and that when you tell grandma and grandpa about that, they're like, "I see." In their head, you're going to hell.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. The judgment is just coming
It's
down.
so hard.
And I watch it all the time, even here in Woodstock, the people who are in certain churches, and you say that you don't attend church or you say that you go to a different church or whatever, you just watch the judgment go across their
Yeah.
eyes. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm pretty sure your religion tells you not to judge people.
All right.
What are we doing here?
We're all
Um,
supposed to be friends according
yeah,
to your religion.
yeah,
But you're
yeah,
sitting here judging me that I
yeah,
haven't been to church in 2 weeks.
yeah.
But
So, what my church is not what somebody else's is. So stop judging.
I love that you. Oh man, I love that you want to talk about the uncomfortable shit, Gretchen, because nobody does. It's such a breath of fresh
Oh
air
my
to hear
God.
other
Let's
people
talk about
talk
all
about it.
the uncomfortable stuff.
We already touched money and religion. What's
Oh,
next?
let's talk about race.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
All right.
I
Hit me.
will go there.
Hit me.
So I absolutely have a problem with people who just speak that they love all people and then they
Mm,
don't.
mhm.
So I grew up in a fully white neighborhood,
Yep.
100%. I was not exposed to the things that a Black culture did, and especially even the ethnicities of now we have like the Indian neighborhoods or the Asian
Mhm.
neighborhoods, things like that. I just freaking love people. And so the flip side of this is that people assume that because I'm white, that I'm privileged and that I haven't worked for what I've got and that I'm going to judge them. And some of my most favorite humans are of Black color, and I don't care. I just fucking love them. They're great humans. I had a great conversation years ago. It was, let me see if I can put a year on this. We were in the small office. Shoot, that had to be 2000 and oh shit, it must have been like 2010. Let me put that year on it. I don't know what happened during that time period, but there was something going on in the world. I was in Jacksonville. There was a ton of shootings, there was a ton of riots, and there was a lot of racial unrest.
Mhm.
And there was a guy, Sean, who I just adored in my office. Great Black man who was a father of 6 children.
Wow.
He had like 3 different baby mamas and cared for these children like nobody's business. And I pulled him into my office one day and I said, Sean, can I ask you something that's super uncomfortable that has nothing to do with you and I working together? And he said, absolutely. And I said, I have a white son and a white daughter. You have 5 Black children. When I turn on the news at night, the news is showing a Black shooting and a white cop and a Black, domestic violence situation or somebody going to jail. I said, how do I explain to my children that what they're seeing is not what they should be hearing? How do we fix this? How do you and I, as
Yeah.
a Black man and a white woman, how do we fix this? How do we have those conversations, Logan, in this society where we don't get offended, right? I mean, I have amazing friends. I have one Black friend who I call my twin sister. Her name's Tangi. I saw her this weekend. She and I went out for cocktails this weekend. She's about 4 foot nothing. She's amazing.
Adorable.
We tell each other that we're twin sisters. But years ago, I had said to Tangi, I said, why do all lives matter? Why is that so offensive? Can you explain that to me?
Sure.
Because I wasn't being mean.
I respect you for asking it.
I said it to her. I said, I need to understand. And she sat down and she went through it. And I said, oh my gosh, okay, so I don't necessarily fully agree, but now I understand. Understand your perspective because of your childhood and your experiences. And when in this world do we stop letting the news and all of these media bits make these statements instead of having a real heart to heart conversation with people who we love?
I can agree with you. I experienced a lot of that growing up too, because on more than one account, I my best friend
Yeah.
was a person of color, whether
Yeah.
they were Asian or African American or Indian even. I've lived in a lot of different places. I moved around a lot growing up. My
Yeah.
dad's in construction. We moved around, yada yada,
Got it.
long story short. So I went to a lot of different schools in a lot of different areas. So I
Yeah.
saw a lot of different people. And over the years, I have been at schools where white was the minority. And my best friends were people of color.
Yeah.
And I won't lie, some people like have like a reaction to that as like a young white boy is befriending all of these colored people.
Yeah.
And it's so wrong. Because
well,
again, I just care if you're a good person.
if you're a good person.
If
Yeah.
you're a
If
good
you
person, I don't
bully
care.
me or you're an
Yeah.
asshole, get out of my space.
I don't care what
Yeah.
you do. If you're good to me and
Yeah.
respectful to your family
Yeah.
and respectful in the way you operate every day,
Yeah.
I don't care what color you are. I don't care what you look like. I don't care if you're 800 pounds or 8 pounds. I
Yes.
just care that you're a good person.
Yeah.
But our society, it almost feels like, not like I'm a conspiracy theorist, because I'm not. It almost like society wants us to hate each other.
Well, I don't think society does though. I do think our media does,
Yeah.
right? Because it's a clickbait society. We went from the Walter Cronkite giving us the news
Yeah.
to now, the media needs to publish whatever's going to get the most clicks,
Yeah.
right? The floods in Texas not
Yeah.
that long ago with these poor children and everything else.
Mhm.
They are just showing it and showing it and showing it because people are staying
clicking on it.
negative. They're clicking on it.
And unfortunately, anything sad, anything hateful, anything dramatic, it sells.
It sells. Yeah. So it's become a profit center
Yeah.
instead of a real conversation starter, instead of saying, okay, how do we bring this together? But in my experience, Logan, I mean, I've worked with folks of all ethnicities. They've worked with me. You're right. I've been in rooms where I'm the only white gal. I've been in rooms where I'm the only girl. And that's a whole nother thing, right?
Sure.
But at the end of the day, how do we build up our whole society with confidence to just be human? We're human.
Mhm.
Let's be human.
And
Yeah.
we are all the same. We are.
Yeah. We
There's
all
one thing we
bleed.
all have in common is that we're here and we're all human.
Yeah.
So maybe two things we have in common,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. So yeah, I don't shy away from the uncomfortable subjects.
I love that. Not enough people do. I'm really glad that you have the mindset about money that we talked about earlier, because that's one that's just always pissed me off. Because I make jokes,
Yeah.
and people hate my jokes sometimes because I make jokes that are kind of uncomfortable jokes. Like
Mhm.
one of my favorite jokes to make that makes all of my friends uncomfortable is they'll say, "Yeah, I got this new golf bag. I got it on Amazon for Prime Day for like 50% off." And I'll say, "Damn, didn't know you were doing that well."
Yeah.
And that joke, "Damn, didn't know you were doing that well," no matter what the context, it makes people uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
"Oh, I went to the Sphere. Oh, damn, didn't know you were doing that well."
Yeah.
And I say it just like that, and they're just like, "Fuck you, man." And I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm kidding. I don't care how much
Yeah.
money you make. I don't care if you can afford to fly to Brazil
fuck
every
too,
weekend. I don't care. But why
100%.
do we have to have this? You can't talk about that. You can't
Yeah.
talk about that. It's so dumb, especially from someone who, as their hobby and hopefully full-time job one day, loves to talk.
Yeah.
So the fact that there's things that I can't cross, there's lines I can't
Yeah.
cross to talk about, it's bullshit.
I don't think there's any line you can't, as long as you are being respectful.
Of course,
Yeah. That's it.
respect is at the
It's
first,
that's it. It's respecting
first and
others.
foremost.
I love having it.
Good. That's awesome.
Amazing.
So Gretchen,
Yeah.
we've talked about a lot of things, not what you do every day. We've talked about a lot of, so like, what's the day to day? How, first of all, one thing that popped into my head a minute ago was, how do you stay organized? Because you've got this property here, that property there, coaching thing here, how do you stay organized with it all? How are you here right now? How do you,
Yeah. I mean,
time management?
systems and processes.
I
Yeah.
love that maybe I need to talk
Yeah.
to you, because
Systems
I
and
need
processes.
systems and processes.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times it feels like I'm flying by the seam of my pants.
Yeah. And you have to do what works for you. So if you have somebody who says you have to do it this way and it just is really hard, everything's real hard in the beginning, right? It's a learning curve. But if somebody says you have to do it this way and it just doesn't work for you, it doesn't become natural, it doesn't work. I just had somebody in my house last night and he's so funny. He goes, "Gretchen, you got to explain the Post-it note thing to me." So I am a post-it note girl.
Oh, yeah.
And the things I believe in in three things that you have to do every day, right? You have to make the cash register ring. You have to be able to do one thing every day to make the cash register ring. That could be a phone call to somebody for sponsorship.
Hello, everybody. We're talking today about another new sponsor that's representing your morning drive. We are brought to you today by the Corporate Vine, where custom learning solutions and startup business coaching come together to empower learning professionals and leaders. They offer hands-on support from project management tools to tailored development programs designed to help your organization thrive. If you're investing in your team's growth and impact, go ahead and check them out at thecorporatevine.com to learn more information. That's thecorporatevine, VINE.com to learn more information.
That could be a phone call to somebody to be a guest on your show. It could be a phone call to the people who are making your hats to help promote your merch, whatever that happens to be, right? You have to do one thing every day that moves your business forward. So maybe that's a call to a mentor. Maybe that's just learning 15 minutes a new skill, something. And then the last thing is to catch a glass ball. Right? We all have these rubber balls that are bouncing and we're trying to juggle all the balls. Some of them are going to drop.
Mm-hmm.
But the glass ball can't drop because it will shatter. So catch the glass ball. What is it and deal with it.
That's a great tidbit.
Yeah. So part of that is from a mentor that I have, but it's just the way I operate, right? So part of the way that I do those three things is through colored post-it notes and keeping myself organized because the rubber balls are all on green post-it notes and I don't have to touch those right away. They're not glass, but I have to remember them. And so they go into things. It's all about systems and processes for sure.
That's awesome. One thing I need to do better, and I know that you and Jen talk about this sometime, is like, how can you make AI work for you?
I love AI.
And I do too, but I feel like maybe I pay for like, let's just say 5 services, and they all, of course, every service now offers some kind of AI feature, whether it's email drafting or invoice sending. Every app seems like it has an AI feature now.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't take advantage of them like I should.
Okay, so the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Because none of us are. The technology is there and it's really freaking amazing.
It's so cool.
It's so cool. And it's so funny because people will say, we're going to lose all of these jobs to computers and we're going to do everything else, right? Okay, here's the thing. Let's take this back to like 1900 when the telephone was invented. Now the couriers and the guys on the horses, or when cars were invented, what are we going to do with the farms and the horses and the people and the groomers? Right? We pivot as a society and we shift, right? And so the skill set, the hard thing is for our young people because AI is going to take over a lot of that initial like opening operation stuff that our young people would learn. So our young people need to get super comfortable with understanding how to train this AI.
I'm so glad you said that. I was having a conversation on Friday with somebody about AI, and they were kind of on the side of AI is going to take over and it's not going to be good. And I said, somebody told me once, I think it was a post actually I saw on LinkedIn, it said, AI is not going to take jobs. What's going to take jobs is people who know how to use AI versus the people who don't. You got 2 candidates. They went to the same school, same GPA, same credentials, same everything. But this person knows how to harness the power of AI.
Yeah.
This person's getting hired.
Yep.
Because that's the future.
Because the day-to-day tasks that are menial are going to go away because we're going to be able to harness that AI, which means that the creative and the visionary side of the world is going to explode because we're going to be able to bring that into it. AI can't create something that hasn't existed. It's only pulling from whatever it's got. And so you're just taking away the steps that somebody else has already created. And so you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Yep.
And so I think that's just a mindset. I love AI.
I do too.
And so that's one of my pushing my business forward is I try to dive into crazy things. I got onto script and I tried to understand the video technology. By the way, I suck at that. I suck at marketing and video technology and editing and all that. I suck at it. And so I'm trying to understand how AI can help me because it is not my skill set.
That's funny that you bring that up, Gretchen, because I actually want to tell everybody about one more thing. And that's if you do suck at marketing and branding and stuff, great transition there. If you're looking to elevate your business and your brand, first of all, talk to Dave, like I said earlier, but On the digital side, Hammerhead Creations can be there to help. They offer top tier marketing services, social media management, website work, and Google page optimization that ensures your business reaches the right people. Whether it's a side hustle or your full time grind, their expert team is ready to help you grow. Plus, if you're into podcasting, they also offer support for helping you grow your show as well. From concept to production, they'll help you bring your ideas to life. So go to hammerheadcreations.com and discover how they can take your business or podcast to the next level. Hammerhead Creations, swim with the big sharks. So yeah, that's fun. You should contact Hammerhead and maybe they can give you some tips or tricks.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yeah. I'm diving into a couple of different pathways
Yeah.
in my world. And I just know that it's not what I do.
And that's kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier is like, hey, you are an expert at all things X, Y, and Z, but you don't necessarily know all there is to know about W. And
Right.
that's okay. You
Yeah.
don't have to know it all.
No. Oh my gosh.
Surround yourself with people that know things.
Yeah. It's so funny because people will hire people that they think are alike or whatever. And gosh, that's the
Mhm.
wrong way to do it. You've got to grab people who know other skills and other things.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Wow, we relate on so much, Gretchen. This is great. This is so fun. I will tell you though, Gretchen, there is a point in every conversation I have with my guests is that I ask them a collection of questions that have really nothing to do with the things they do professionally, but
Okay.
they really have everything to do with just who you are as
Okay.
a person.
Yeah.
They're kind of first date kind of questions. It's been a while since you've been on a first date because Mark has been with you, it seems like every step of the way
Yeah.
for the last long
28
time.
years.
28 years. You guys, wow. What year did you guys get together?
94.
4?
5. Yeah, something like that. I can't even remember.
I was born a year after you guys got together. So how's
Nice.
that? But anyway, these questions are just to kind of help me and just the people listening get to know you on a personal level.
Yeah.
You
Let's
ready?
do it. I'm ready.
What is your go-to favorite movie?
Oh, shoot. That is tough. So I'm not necessarily a movie girl. I'm more of a series girl.
Okay. Your go-to series?
So I love, because I don't watch a lot of TV, I love things that run in the background that keep me company.
Mhm.
And I love historical.
Ooh,
So
I
I
love
love
that.
historical documentaries or historical things like Downton Abbey, which sounds super boring, or, the Vikings or
Yes.
something. I like the historical kind of masterpiece. I love that stuff. Movies, shoot. I don't know. I love a good like Top Gun or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't watch a ton of TV.
That's probably for the better. I wish I didn't watch as
I
much
just,
TV as
yeah, I just don't. And I think it's timing.
Yeah.
If I turn on a TV, then I'll stay awake and I really need to sleep because sleep is
precious.
precious. Yeah. I need to
Yeah.
sleep. Yeah.
I envy that because I also need to sleep. What was your first ever job? First time you collected a paycheck? What was it? What were you doing?
I was a nanny. Yeah. I was a nanny. I was 14. I went babysitting and went to a funeral as I don't even know who had passed away. And this little girl was just losing her mind in this church in the middle of the funeral service. And I kind of went across, I was a child. I went across and I kind of sat and played with this child and somebody else saw me. And she came up to me and said, "Hey, I don't know who you are, but do you want to come and live on the island in the summer and take care of my girls and be my mother's helper?" And I said, "Yes. Yes, I do."
At 14?
At 14.
Wow, Gretchen, that's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
And so you went and lived with them.
I did. Every summer I went and lived with them all the way through high school. And they're some of my most favorite people. The girls at that time were bridesmaids in my wedding. They're
Wow,
So that was my first paycheck.
that's magical. Wait a minute. Hold on. I can't believe I haven't even asked you about the fact that you lived with the Turner family for however long. How was that? I mean, so you interacted with them and
I mean,
learned from them?
they're humans just like us.
That's so cool though. I mean,
Yeah.
especially in this Atlanta area,
Yeah. Yeah.
there it doesn't get more famous of a name than Ted Turner.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind.
Do you still talk to them to this day?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Kind, kind, kind.
What's the probability
Um,
that you get him in that chair?
in this chair,
Oh,
no,
probably not.
not much because he's not well.
Oh no.
No. Yeah,
Is he up there?
yeah, he's got some dementia things going
Oh,
on.
poor guy.
Yeah.
I did not know that. But that's
Fabulous.
so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Fabulous, fabulous family.
Wow.
That really have kind of sacrificed their own lives for the health of our earth
Sure.
and our water and our environment. And
Is that something you're passionate about as well?
not nearly as much as them, but yes, there are certain things I do because I'm like, yeah, no, we can't do this. I go through the house and I turn off all the lights and I keep the thermostat up and I try
Yep.
not to buy
Us too.
water bottles and
Us too.
try not to have plastic bags. And I try to understand some of those things that I'm doing.
Not even the lights thing is funny because I went to somebody's place the other day and all their lights were on.
Yeah.
And me and my wife look at each other because we're like, we can't relate because we're lucky enough to have a place that has a lot of great natural lighting.
Yeah.
We're both big natural lighting
I am
people.
too.
We never have lights on. The only lights we ever turn on are lamps.
Yes.
And they auto turn on and auto turn off with our lovely Alexa tool.
Yeah.
But they automate. They're on for a couple hours at a time, and we never turn on a big light.
Yeah.
Ever. And I love that.
It's very rare that we do. I love that as well.
But our friends, we went over their place the other day, and all of their lights were on. I was like,
Yeah.
ooh.
And even as cold as I get, I put on more clothes. It's almost freezing when I finally turn on the heat in my house.
Really?
Yeah. I just think about it. I'm like, you know what? I don't really need to do this. Every little bit counts. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned before we recorded that you went to the concert last night. So that leads right into this question of if you got to organize your own Woodstock summer concert series lineup, who would your 3 artists performing be?
Oh, this is going to blow your mind. This one's
Okay.
easy.
Oh, hit me.
Queen,
Love it.
right out of the gate. That one's easy.
Queen.
Barbara Streisand.
Okay.
I grew up in New England going to Broadway.
Yeah. Barbara Streisand, indeed.
And Pitbull.
What a variety. Wow.
Yeah.
Who's the opening act in that group? Is it Barbara? Just because she's been around the block? Or is Pitbull the opening act to get people hyped?
Yeah, I think Pitbull or maybe a little Eminem. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm buying tickets to that concert. I
Yeah.
don't care if it's free. I'm buying tickets for somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Queen. No, maybe.
Queen's got to be there.
Yeah, definitely.
Anytime
Yeah.
someone says
Yeah.
Queen, I'm like, oh, I'm there. I don't care
Yeah.
who the other 2 artists are. I'm there.
Yeah.
I love Queen.
So, yeah, I grew up with Broadway and everything like that. I was driving back from Jacksonville yesterday, listening to Hamilton
Oh,
in between my phone calls in my car. So I'm really good at phone calls and Zoom calls in my car. Yeah, become a master at it. I get so much work done in that 5-hour drive. I mean, it's crazy. It's uninterrupted. Like just nail it. But in between there, I listen to Hamilton. So yeah.
I love that.
And I love a good Miami dance club. Yeah.
You getting down?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Not that long ago, Mark and I were up in Nashville at an IMN conference, which is a story I didn't finish with you with the I Find Dirt. But anyway, it got to be about 2:00 in the morning and we were with some investors and everything, and everyone just kind of went home and they went to bed. Mark and I went into, I'm going to say it was Chase and Aldean's bar, but I'm not really sure if it was his. But there's a third level where it's like a dance club instead of like the country music. And we were up there just rocking and rocking and rocking. And I went into the bathroom and I looked around and these girls were looking at me like, oh, let the old lady go through. And I looked around and I was like, oh my God, they're all literally 18. I was like, oh my gosh, what time is it? So I sat down on the toilet and I pulled out my phone. It was 4:30 in the morning.
holy shit.
I was like, oh my God, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm an old lady. Like, what am I doing here? And I went back outside and I looked around. I'm like, Mark, they're all teenagers. Like, we have to go.
Yeah,
We're
we
like
don't belong-
chaperoning them.
we don't belong
We
here
don't
anymore.
belong here anymore. And yeah,
I
so
love Nashville. Great time.
I love a good dance club.
Man, very fun. Very fun. On a day that you're not working, which is very few and far between, I'm sure, in some capacity, how
Yeah.
do you recharge? How do you take care of yourself?
I do take care of myself. So this last Sunday, perfect example, a week ago today, I was at the Ponte Vedra Inn and Spa down in Florida, got full massage therapy. My job was not to speak a word to another human. I had a journal. I was in a pool. I got a massage. I put my feet in the sand. I got great sunshine. I had a couple of cocktails, had an amazing salad, lunch, fed my spirit.
Mm.
I do. It's really important to take a break. It's really important to pause. I tell people that even during their work days, when it's your busiest day and you have your longest to-do list, put a timer on your phone for 45 minutes and stand up for 5 minutes. Go for a walk in the sunshine for 5 minutes. You come back to your desk, you'll produce 10 times more than if you just keep plowing through.
I love that.
You have to let your body rest.
Yep. It's something you want to talk about an epidemic. It's people I know
Yeah.
Americans are like the outlier in this, but people just think that you got to work, 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 work at all times and
Yeah.
never stop.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of it. Sometimes I'll whip out the iPad in bed and look at emails, and my wife's like, you can watch TikToks for 20 minutes if you want to. You can take a break from looking at
Yeah.
emails. Like, stop. It's 11:30 at night. Just
Yeah.
go to bed.
Yeah.
Why do you feel like you have to have the laptop, the phone, or the tablet in front of you at all times?
Yeah. It's
Like,
really important to take that break
it is very
because you
much so.
literally come back with a vengeance. I mean,
Yeah.
you get so much done. I wish that corporate America would embrace that. I wish that they would literally every 45 minutes, I wish they'd blow a horn and say, everyone stand up from your desks and just walk and talk to each other.
That'd be so
I
nice.
mean, 15 minutes, sit back down, go into it. I think the production levels would go through the roof.
I think they would. I do.
Yeah.
I really do. What's a piece of advice you were given at some point that sticks out to you to this day?
Be yourself. I think it's that simple.
It is.
Be who you are. Don't be who somebody else wants you to be.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
What's your biggest fear, Gretchen?
Hmm. So when you're over 50, this is
You're
something
over 50?
yeah,
Oh, shit.
they
Okay.
don't tell you. They don't tell you that the crazy train comes flying through your bedroom at 2 o'clock in the morning. And that train comes in blaring its horn. It's the crazy train. You have a wife. So just know that this is going to happen to her. It starts at 40, and by 50, the station is built. Uh, ask anybody else. This
Yeah.
is a true statement.
Yeah.
Anyway, in my world, my crazy train goes from, oh, did I put the trash out? To I'm going to die of cancer and my children are going to be homeless. My
Yeah.
daughter's going to be a prostitute and my son's going to be in jail in nanoseconds.
Yeah.
Like crazy train just takes hold. So I think my biggest fear is something really bad happening to my children.
Sure. Sure.
And they're great kids.
Yeah.
They're perfectly healthy. They're doing great. They're
Yeah.
self-sufficient.
Doing good things.
Yeah. But I think that that's it.
Wow.
I think that that's it.
It's valid.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Gretchen, what is your main motivation? What keeps you going? What wakes you up in the morning? What is your morning drive?
People. People. I love being with people in every capacity. I love sitting here and talking to you. I love having my impromptu happy hours in my house and inviting strangers in and learning their story and learning if there's a space for me in their life. And if there's not, who I can connect them to so that they have somebody who can have a space in their life. I love that. It feeds my soul.
I love it too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that you think that way. Gretchen, go ahead and now tell the people who you are, how to find you, the things you offer them,
Yeah.
all of those things. Just advertise, advertise,
Yeah, right.
advertise.
So I'm Gretchen Kornutik. I have All Things Short-Term Rentals, which is a DBA of Saltair Stays. I am a Florida and Georgia real estate broker. I work in multiple states, but I'm an educator at heart. So I have the Build and Brand Mastermind, which is just a monthly online mastermind for young entrepreneurs looking for guidance and a community of people who are aligned with them in their goal setting and keeping them accountable. And just having somebody partner and say, hey, I'm stuck. I don't understand this, or I'm not good at this. What do I do? So the Build and Brand is really, it's a soul feed for me. I think I definitely know it's a soul feed for Jen. Um, and it becomes a soul feed for everyone else. It's been really magical to watch that grow. But my main day-to-day operations is Steve and Tony Short-Term Rentals, which is a boutique short-term rental property management company. And we house midterm rentals, which is defined differently in each state and municipality that you go into. Short-term rentals, which is also defined differently in every state and municipality that you go into. It's not the same everywhere you go. And then part-time rentals. So I utilize people who live in properties full-time. That's their primary residence. And I rent it out using the Augusta rule for a short period of time for things like the PGA Tour, for the World Cup, for NFL games, for things like that. So those are my buckets. I stay in those buckets. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So anybody who's got a house, by the way, if you think you want to sell a house right now, just call me first. Let's talk about it. I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to talk about commissions in real estate. That's not my bucket. Yeah. So I want to partner with people, and I want to partner with people who are hungry and coachable and really want to make this world a better place.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, all of the things, right? Gretchen Kornutik, or just Google All Things Short-Term Rentals. You'll find me.
Hell yeah. Guys, I'll make sure that I put the links to all things short-term rentals in the description of the episode. So if you're interested in what we're talking about, you can just scroll down, tap the link, and go straight to her site and get to where you want to go to get in touch with her and learn and grow with her and utilize her for all the things that she does. Gretchen, this was so freaking fun.
Fun.
I am so excited that we finally got to connect and finally got to do this together. Like I said before, I just think you're killing it in all the stuff that you're doing. If you're not killing it, then you're selling it really well. But you're killing it. You're so fun to watch online. You're fun to be around, and you are a light. So just keep doing what you're doing. I'm lucky to know you. So
I
thank
am
you for
lucky to
being
know
here.
you.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
I
being
love
here.
it. Awesome.
Very good. Guys, again, her links are in the description so that you can get in touch with her if you need to. You can get in touch with me as well. My links are in the description as well. Shout out to Good Day. Shout out to Fireworks. Shout out to Dave Davis and his branded company. And shout out to Hammerhead Creations for making your morning drive possible. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. We'll catch you guys next time. Take care.